Hello, everyone, and welcome to your podcast where we talk all things about football, the player, the teams, the coaches, football development, and of course, road to professionalism, and why not community development and more. I'm your host, Philemon Bale, and today we are diving into an important topic: how to start a football project in Cameroon. And now, in recent years, we've witnessed a surge of football academies and projects across the country and also in some parts of Africa as well. However, many of these football initiatives spring up without proper planning nor feasibility studies. Today, we'll discuss why a structured football project is the necessary approach and how you can create a successful football project that genuinely benefits a community and of course also keeps in mind the business perspective alive. So welcome back. To kick things off, let's talk about the importance of having a well-defined project document. Many aspiring football club owners, coaches, and enthusiasts simply rush into establishing football teams and academies without taking the time to understand their goals, their target audience, or the resources they would need in the course of executing or starting up these academies. Many of them just get into the game for the sake of owning a football club or an academy. And that's how I choose to call it the Me Too syndrome. Because everyone is having a football club, I too should have a football club. But it's important for us to remind ourselves that a football project document serves as a roadmap. It outlines your objectives, the methodologies, the time frames, as well as the activities over a projected period of time. Now, think of it this way. If you don't have a plan, you are like a player on the pitch without a game strategy, very much disoriented and susceptible to opposition tactics, almost like a blind man in the middle of a crowd trying to find his or her way around. Now, let's break it down to how to create this essential project document. Remember, it depends on the kind of project. It could be 10 to 18 pages of compressed, detailed material concerning the said project. So the very first thing which we are expected to do before we start up with such a project, whether a sports initiative group, whether a football team, whether academy, it will be to assess the environment through what we call a feasibility study. Yeah, you have to do a feasibility study concerning your project. And of course, you have to canvass the environment to get certain information. Now, the first thing is, ask yourself, is there a need for a football academy in your target area, for example? What facilities already exist and what facilities will you be needing to start up that football academy? You also need to engage with the community, the city, the village, where you intend to carry out this project. So as to understand their interest. Of course, you also have to look at their demographics and whether they have a passion for football. Maybe their need is a supermarket and you intend to start up a football academy. There could be a misplacement of priority there from the community. So it's always important for us to go to the community, find out from there if they are football enthusiasts, if they will be ready to welcome a football academy, if they really need a football academy at that particular point in time. These are things you are supposed to do. Now, you gather information through surveys and, of course, focus groups. You could go around the town asking people if, mouth to ear, if they really need a football academy or a football team in the city. And then at the end of the survey, you can have adequate data to make up your mind and make up a reasonable decision, at least if the community is in dire need of a football team or a football academy. Now, a sports or football initiative in a small village community like Wonganga in Boya, where we are resided, can be used as an example. Now, get this straight. For the past 4 years running, this initiative has been operating. They've been playing the the FACO League, which is Cameroon's fourth tier football in the southwest region where we are located. And for the past 4 years, they don't yet have a training facility on their own. They have had expenses, I should say, unrecorded expenses for the past 4 years today. And after a lengthy conversation over the weekend with their founder, it is clear that it was all initiated on faulty basis. Sorry to say, but this is the truth. No handy football project document, no timelines, no clear vision, blur and unmeasurable objectives, which were never documented in the first place, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so in our next episode, I think we will have the time to detail the Wonganga Sports Initiative, so that we should know how paramount it is to have a document from the start of your football project. Now, after your feasibility studies, eventually you must define your objectives. The why. Why are you organizing, or why are you starting up a football club? Why are you starting up a football academy? You need to clearly articulate your goals. Are you aiming to develop young talents, to promote just health and wellness, or to build a community spirit? You know, we must make our objectives smart, specific, measurable, achievable, and of course relevant and time bound. I'll give you a couple of examples here. We could say that our initiative, or our football club, or our football academy aims to train 100 youths in the next 2 years to improve their football skills and increase engagement in sports. That could be an objective. Another objective could be we aim to build player profiles and help develop them into professional footballers through strategic partnerships over a period of 4 years maximum. That too can be another objective, because there's a time frame there, and there are activities there. So we leave it open for evaluation. After 4 years, we can be able to assess if at all we've had player profiles which have grown into professionals through strategic partnerships, as mentioned in the said objective. Now, I want to say that many clubs in the southwest region, in the regional league, have sprung up just to participate in the league. Yeah, with no clear objectives of whether to develop and sell football players or to promote their teams to top tier level in Cameroon. Most clubs become unsustainable and of course redundant over the years, subsequently dying a natural death or enforced deaths. Now, for those of us in the southwest region of Cameroon, we can learn from the stories of Limbe City FC, Prisons of Boya, Ajax Lions of Likumba, Tico Youngsters, Top Tazan of Motengene, and even the most recent case with Lexpo of Limbe. The team was dormant for over 2 decades and have only been resurrected last year or so with a visionary president who has had to build again from scratch. So, after outlining your objectives, it is time to take real actions. That is by developing a strategic methodology, how to go about things. So with your objectives set, it is time to choose your approach. Will you offer weekly training sessions? Will you offer workshops? Will you attend workshops or tournaments? What age group of players will you cater for? And how will you recruit these players? Where will they live? Will you have a dormitory, or they'll come and train and go back home? All of that has to be defined under your methodology. Will you also be considering implementing mentorship programs where experienced players will come in and guide the younger ones? You know, this does not only foster skill development, but also builds character. And most of the academic kids can easily learn from former footballers, former professionals who come once in a while to talk to them and encourage them and build character. And now, also, how do you intend to do it? Do you organize and or attend football symposiums to have more insight on football development and other resources needed to make your team sustainable over time? You know, these are some of the questions. And now, talking about time, you have to create a time frame for all of these activities. Clearly, you have to establish a timeline for your project. Now, you break it down into phases. I'll give you a couple of examples. You could say from month 1, from the first month to the 3rd month, we are doing community engagement and recruiting. That is to say, you send word out to the community. We are starting up a football academy from ages 12 to 15. We'll be training on this particular facility on these days. If the community is interested, send your kids, send word out there. So the first 3 months is sensitization and probably recruiting. After you must have recruited the players you want, you organize trials and recruitment and even special camps for these players. Now you go to phase 2, say from month 4 to month 24. You are doing skills training and development. Players come every day, they train for 2 to 3 hours, they play friendly matches during the weekends. Over the months, you are developing these talents with time. So you give phase 2 from the 4th to the 24th month, maybe from the first year right up to the 3rd year or the 2nd or the 3rd year. And now phase 3, which could be from month 24 to month 48, now you engage your players in competitions. And of course, you showcase them and you get them involved in community development initiatives. So clearly, you have to segment your project in various phases following a timeline. By year 2, for example, by year 2, we are supposed to be playing the regional league or the FACO league. By year 3, we are supposed to be playing international competitions at the under 18 level, at the under 15 level. By year 4, we are supposed to be at least positioning players. At least 4 players from our academies must have gone for trials either in first division clubs or even abroad. So all of that has to be outlined. It has to be segmented in the working document before you even kickstart an academy in Cameroon or wherever. And the next thing to do after you must have outlined your methodology would be to check your activities and resources. Now, you detail the activities you will conduct and the resources you would need to conduct those activities. For example, this may include your coaching staff, the equipment you're going to need, the facilities you're going to need, and importantly, the budget for the first year, the second year, and the 3rd year. For example, over a 4-year or a 3-year span, that has to be documented. And also, you need to be specific if you're going to seek partnerships with local businesses and organizations to secure fundings or resources. All of that has to be in the working document. Now, the idea is, even as a vision bearer, as the owner of the academy, if you are not there tomorrow, there's a working document that will guide your successor, whoever takes over the realm at the helm of the academy can follow due procedure, can follow the document and know that, okay, at this point in time, after 3 years in business, this is where we are. And this is what is left for us to be done probably before the 4th year or so. So it's very important for these elements to be very clearly documented. Perhaps you could also reach out to former players to come and share their experiences and also engage in community development ventures like cleanup campaigns, solidarity visits, sports events like sensitization walks, or in the fight against drug abuse, for example, in the community. We can also just get the team. The team has to be involved in community development endeavors. And in subsequent podcasts, I am going to explain to you why these community development activities are important. So before we round up, let's go to the next item, which is measurement and evaluation. Now, think about how you evaluate the successes of your project over time. 4 months, 1 year, or 4 years' time. You need to create metrics to assess progress, such as participant growth. That is to say, how many kids were admitted into our academy or team in the last 2 years, for example. Skills improvement from various competitions played, or community feedback. It's as simple as that. You go back to the community, ask them what they feel about the academy, over the past 2 years, and so on and so forth. And now you also must regularly, I should say, review your goals and adapt as need arises. Also, continuous evaluation ensures that you stay on track and adjust to any unexpected changes. There are many football projects across the country, which existed for many years without appropriate evaluation schemes, simply because from the inception, such evaluation schemes were not designed to accompany the execution of that project. Now, academies cannot even tell you how many players they have trained over the past 2 years. It's that difficult, and they have no single data. Some of academies don't have any data concerning even the players that have passed through that academy. Some can't even tell the names and the number of competitions that they have participated in, nor the number of matches played, for example, by the under 18 category for the past 2 years. So these are very vital information which we need to document over the years, because the project document is a projection, and now you need to do annual and yearly report wherein you need to tick the boxes. Did we play, I don't know, the regional league this year? How many matches were played? Where did we travel to? We went to Limbe, we went to Boya, how many friendly matches were played? All of those details. The under 18 category, which competitions did they play throughout the year? Maybe they played the international tournament in Limbe in December. Maybe they played in Douala. All of that has to be documented and enters into the annual report of the initiative or the academy for future use. And why do I say so? We use this opportunity to explain to you that there are academies, there are clubs in Europe. I would not want to call names for now, but do you know that there are clubs which have a lot of unused materials in their banks? I'll give you an example. A young club like Maidstone United sits here in the English Football League. Probably they have equipment, jerseys, footballs, cones, boots, which they've not used like for the past 6 years, and it is stockpiled somewhere. If you build a good reputation for your academy or for your sports initiative, you have your annual reports for the past years, you can compile a document and you send to these clubs and tell them, these are our activities. We carry out community development activities, we train young players, but at this point in time, we need support, material support. And as simple as that, these clubs would always find a way to contribute to the development of our communities. And so, trust me, they're going to send those materials to your club. It's just to know how to go about it at this point in time. So, while we are concluding, the passion of football in Cameroon, it must be said, is immense. And the foundation of any successful football project lies in thorough planning and execution. By taking the time to create a complete project document, you can ensure that your football initiative not only thrives, but also leaves a lasting impact on the said community. What's the point playing the regional league for 4 years with nothing concrete to show off for? That's it. We know of clubs that played the regional league in the Southwest for 3 years, 4 years, and after that, the club shut down. They couldn't continue training again. They couldn't continue developing players and so on and so forth. So, but what is the point doing all of that, spending all of that money, whereas you can invest that money on redesigning and reorienting your football team or academy by requesting for a draft project from a competent body? The Englishman says, a stitch in time can save many. Remember, it is never too late to rethink and restart in any football business. Thank you for your priceless attention. Remember, Pro Sports Management is here to help you on this journey. Our contacts displayed at the bottom of this video, and if you have questions or want to share your experiences starting a football project, please contact us. We would love to hear from you. From myself and the crew, it's bye-bye for now. See you next week.